Hello and welcome back to my Pokemon Journeys review series. Today we're going to be reviewing episode 43, which continues the Galar Darkest Day arc, so I hope you enjoy. This episode did a lot of heavy lifting in terms of the plot. It gave us so much information about Galar and the Darkest Day, and most of the stuff we learnt we knew from the games already. It felt like not that much happened in this episode, but at the same time it felt like a lot happened as well. We firstly see Hammerlock and Team Rocket are in this episode mining underneath the stadium on Giovanni's orders. So there's still a chance Giovanni will have a role to play in upcoming episodes, but he wasn't the man following Sonia and Go, despite a lot of people thinking he was, even me. Go and Sonia arrive at Turffield and they are exploring the ruins. I absolutely love the dynamic that these two have together. Go seems to be helping out Sonia massively with her research, and they've created quite a team. Travelling around Galar, finding out about the Darkest Day, just like Sonia does in the games, visiting all the sites that gives her more information, and all the explanations in this episode about the Darkest Day were done really well. So Rose is still conducting all of his shenanigans underneath Hammerlock, and more energy comes shooting out and ends up hitting a nearby Colossal, and Ash and Leon arrive to take care of it swiftly. Colossal is one of my favourite Pokemon and it looked perfectly animated here. I love its G-Max form and I think it's the best Dynamax Pokemon we've got so far in the anime. But Ash and Leon quickly stop it from rampaging, with Ash using his Gengar. Thank God for that. Gengar puts in some nice work and so does Pikachu to stop it. Meanwhile, we get a bit of a backstory for Sonia as she explains how her and Leon used to be really close friends and rivals, and Leon got really popular and eventually became champion. We also got some really nice shots of them in the past, Leon with his Charmander, Charmeleon and then finally Charizard over the years. It was a cool moment. After Ash and Leon had dealt with the Colossal, Chairman Rose shows up and meets Ash for the first time. He takes an instant liking to him, saying that Leon has already told him about Ash, and you can tell he's plotting something. He's trying to butter Ash up and even ask him for dinner, and we know Ash isn't going to turn down a free dinner. And then Leon stays behind to clear up the mess that was left at the mines. And even Leon is becoming a bit suspicious of Rose at this point. This whole episode was Rose focused, with even Magnolia near the end telling us not to trust him, which is what we needed because we hadn't really got much Rose so far in the anime. Go and Sonia go to Professor Magnolia's lab and find a wishing star which drops down on them as soon as they arrive. Go meets Magnolia and finds out she is in fact Sonia's grandmother. Also, we get a little hint towards Go possibly becoming a professor, as Sonia tells him he could become one with how smart he is and how much he knows about Pokemon, which I loved. But they stay the night at the lab and Magnolia makes Go a Dynamax band, which is cool, and he learns all about Dynamax Pokemon and spots. We get a lot of story, as I said before, we get everything explained to us, but these are things we already know from the games already, but it was still needed here to fully set up the arc. So the next scene is one of my favourites in the episode, and that is Ash and Chairman Rose at dinner. Chairman Rose is scheming so hard, giving his little speech about protecting Galar, and then he has the nerve to offer Ash a role with him. Just like Leon, basically helping him grow as a trainer, and in return Ash will help him protect Galar. I love this. It shows that he sees Ash as someone valuable and maybe even a threat to his plans. And Ash just straight up declines. He wants to walk in his own shoes and travel around the world on his own. I love this. It was so like Ash and made perfect sense. And from the preview it looks like we're going to be getting a battle between Ash and Rose, with Rose using his giant steel elephant, which I cannot pronounce, Copper-Rajar, is that how you say it? So the final moments of this episode see Sonia and Go head to Stow-on-Side, and this is where the episode sees some real action, as the dude that's been following them this whole time, the Giovanni ripoff, is working for Rose as he started a Dynamax battle with Go and his new Dynamax band. He sends out a G-Max Garboda and Go ends up Dynamaxing his Raboot, which was really awesome, but the battle kind of gets stopped as they crash into the massive rock painting and uncover the statues behind them, just like in the games where Bede destroys it. So it was a nice little spin on that, and that is where the episode ends, on a nice little cliffhanger. So overall this episode was really good. It set up so much, maybe a little too much sometimes. A lot of people said there wasn't enough setup for this arc in general, and this episode definitely proves that, as this episode does a lot of the heavy lifting, as I said before, with the Darkest Day story and with Chairman Rose. But it's still a very good episode, sprinkled with some action at the end. Overall this episode gets an 8 out of 10. Let me know what your thoughts are on this episode. What would you rate it out of 10? I'm really looking forward to next week's episode. I think it's really going to get going next week. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you did. And see you next time.